So I haven't been doing a lot of videos. Just so much has been happening lately in the last couple weeks. You can see the date when it is posted, and just over the summer, and just a lot of stuff happening for work and family. Haven't been really posting any videos, but I gotta start getting back into the groove of it. Want to do a few car videos. I certainly want to do some of these handheld videos that I've been working on, and this is the beginning of it. But a lot of people ask me, why do you fool around with a lot of these older retro electronics, audio equipment, stuff like that? I think the reason is it takes me back to a simpler time when I didn't have to worry about kids and tuition and mortgage and helping out with, for example, career planning and a couple of the kids now going to be starting or have been starting house hunting and apartment hunting and things like that, looking for a car for my youngest now. I don't want to get a balance between something nice but not too nice and not too expensive but reliable, Toyota, Honda, etc., so forth. That's a whole nother discussion. Like go off on a tangent here. You saw one of my other videos. My eldest daughter has a Chevy Cruze, and yes, it's not like a Toyota Corolla or anything, but I know how to work on it, and it's easy to work on. That car is like working on that engine. That 1.4 liter is like working on lawnmower engine, basically. It's really quite simple if you're handy to work on, but it's got problems. It likes to leak. It likes to leak at the head gasket. It likes to leak coolant from all its plastic fittings. Anyway, that's a tangent. But what I have been doing on the side is working on some of these things. I have this out here because this is just my most recent purchase that I received, which is pretty cool. It's the original one. It's not the remake. I haven't the remake one of the Mattel Electronics, but this brings me back to time. I used to play this all the time when I was like 6-7 years old, maybe 8 years old. So this is pretty neat. It's a pretty good game. One of the things that I have been working on is rebuilding this. I had about for years. I had about 3 or 4 of these DSs, all in different parts, different levels of disassembly, parted out, and I just never got a chance to put it together. I still have, for example, here's all the parts that I took them apart and that I saved from DSs that I couldn't recover. DS lights, if you will. As you can see, just parts here. So I was able to put together this one from probably about 3 or 4 different parts, but it works like a champ. It works pretty good. What did I have to do? I had to get a new lower screen. The hinge was broken. I guess it was dropped over here, so it just wouldn't click at all. It wouldn't sit in place, so I had to replace. And the hinge is this part right here, this bezel, right? It was cracked right here, and that seems to be a weak point. What else did I have to replace? I replaced some of the buttons. I don't like these start select buttons. I was missing one of the originals, so I had to use the third party, and they're like real squishy. They just don't feel good. Everything works though, works really well. The case, I got a third-party case off of eBay for like $15 or something like that. Looks really good. Picks up a lot of fingerprints though, but yeah, it works really good. New battery, but it works. Took it all apart. The only thing that I could possibly think of, which is the real pain, is routing the antenna cables in here when you're putting this back cover on. It's actually not hard to work on a DS Lite, but those cables and getting that motherboard to sit right is just yuck. It's not fun. So, and again, this is another one that I've done that I put together and kind of rescued. I like rescuing older electronics that usually are set for the garbage bin. Kind of makes me feel good inside that I guess maybe because I'm getting older, that it can be remade and made useful. R4 card that I loaded up with Twilight menu on here, and works pretty good. I'll turn it off. Let's turn it off. I'll show you how when it boots up. Put this clear case. I'm a big fan of these clear cases. Kind of saves the scratching, especially of these glossy ones. You can see your fingerprints, especially if you're going to be carrying around. Something appeals to me about these DS Lites and maybe the regular DSi, not the DSi-XL, but the regular DSi. It's just the size. It's just really just wonderful. Honestly, really, really wonderful. A different game. Anyway, got Twilight Menu to work on R4 card. I do believe it's not supposed to work on an R4 card, but playing with the boot up files, I was able to get it to work before I had. I'm trying to look at my sheet here. AK Menu was originally working on here, or I think it's YS Menu was the originals, and AK Menu is okay. Let's see if I get this work again. Yep, there it goes. Yep. So that works pretty good. That was another rescue of parts. The case is actually in really good condition. A little scratch on the dog print right there, but not bad. This one was my friend's that I cleaned up, put a new battery in it, a PSP, put a SD card, Magic memory stick, Duo adapter, and it works really good. I do have a UMD in here, but that is for Ridge Racer, but obviously Burnout Legends works pretty good. And of course, this is going to be the focus of today, but this is the one that I probably play the most. Basically, this is all anything that's not dual screen up to the Wii. Works really, really well on here. I just absolutely love this. This is a RG 505. You'll see other videos that I have of this. I still have DS on here, and I do play it on some DS games that don't require a lot of the secondary screen, because usually I have it small in the corner. But yeah, it works really, really well. I got this 3D printed grip basically on here. It just makes it feel better when I'm sitting for more than 10 minutes. But it works really well. This is running Gamma OS, just so you know. Turn off the Wi-Fi just to make it last, the battery last a little bit longer. Also, what I did was I put a couple of these iPhone or phone mounts, if you will, on the back of this, and the reason for that is well, this one was before I had the mount, and I could just take this and you could put it on 45-degree angle just to put on my display over here. But I put this one on here so that you can just put it up here and let it stand up. So that's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat mod that I have. But today I want to talk about this. Something about the DS and the 3DS just fascinates me. They're just the perfect platform for playing these dual screens. I mean, yes, they have the Thor that's coming out, and a couple of the dual screens that are coming out, but I don't know if it's going to be the same. I'm going to try to do a video of an Android dual screen, which is I believe it's the V60. It's the LG V60, which you can have a dual screen. I'm going to try to set that up and see how that works, if I can get one for a reasonable price on eBay. But honestly, nothing beats the original. I really do believe so. This was my son's. He's older now. He's in college. He doesn't play this anymore. I mean, it was beat up, and I basically cleaned it up. I recased it. It was all scratched up. Then I put this case on it. This gold one is just a case. It's actually a top and bottom, but I just put the top on it to cover this back part. And I put a grip on it. This is a grip that I've had for years, and this is great because you can put the kickstand out, and it can stand up like this. What I did have to do is when I first worked on it, I had to, let's see if I can find a motherboard here. Here's the motherboard, the original motherboard, and I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about doing this, boy, you better be real careful about these connectors, because I don't know if I could show you. Let me get off the glare here. Let me tilt it. These connectors, these little ribbon, not the big connectors for the screens, but the little ribbon connectors for example, the touch screen, or the, well, I think that's the touch screen, or the this one over here, which I believe is this one, is the microphone. I might have these mixed up, but do you see these little 4-pin connectors? Boy, oh boy, do they break. They break if you look at them wrong. And that's what I had. I broke when I first started, just with a bunch of hubris, went in here and said, oh yeah, I know how to work with these little connectors. Yeah, no problem. I could pop these off. No. I think I broke every single one of them, honestly. So I went on AliExpress, and honestly, I just bought a new motherboard, popped it in here. And it's not new. It's actually a refurbished or repurposed motherboard. And works like a champ. So let's just oh, by the way, every single one of my consoles, they're either jailbroken or they have some kind of basically card. This is an R4 card. Turn this off, I'll show you. It's an R4 card in here with a new firmware with a SD card. I think it's a 64 gig card. It works really well. I try to, like I said, put a case on it and try to keep them in reasonably good condition. But then this is obviously jailbroken. This is the PSP. Obviously this has got Gamma OS in it. It doesn't have the original firmware on it. I like Gamma OS. It actually is really good. I actually have Emulation Station on here also, but I use that J-Show, I believe, is the, I always pronounce it wrong. It always works really good. See if I can get on the camera. Ooh, it's not gonna focus right. That J-Show, Japanese. But let's go with this one. Basically, it was my son's. What did I have to fix? Well, the first thing that I had to fix is this upper screen, which, by the way, another reason why I like the 3DS. It is amazing how much the price of 3DSs in the last couple of years have gone up. It is amazing. I mean, I thought I could find a broken one and like rescue the motherboard out of it, and the prices were just amazingly insane. I mean, they're so high. I'm surprised. And I think I know why. After I started playing this one, after I jailbroke it and homebrewed it, I understand. It is just the perfect platform for playing DS and 3DS, actually, and even Game Boy Advance and Game Boy platforms. It's not the most powerful. I think it's. Let me bring up the. So, I'm actually bringing up the stats. I should have had this up already. So, gonna give me the megahertz, are you? Okay, yeah. So the memory, this has only got 256 megs on it. It's 804. This is for the new. I think it's only 400 for the original 3DS, but this is the new 3DS-XL. It's 804 megahertz, ARM11 quad core, and you compare it to some other like octa-core Android systems. I mean, it's really quite low compared to other systems. 256 megabytes, 64 megabytes dedicated to the OS, and 10 for video RAM, and then 1 gig internal flash memory apparently, but SD card that you could put in here, which is actually under the screen. You have to pop the bottom off to put the SD card. I think I have a 256 gigabyte SD card in here, and it really, especially if you jailbreak it, it really bumps up the system. But I had to replace the screen because it was getting the screen bleed on the corners, and I think it's because my son, he dropped it. I could see it right here where it's kind of like scuffed up in the corners, where he probably dropped it, and then it was starting to get the bleed where it was black in the corners, or 2 or 3 of the corners. So got a new screen. Again, you really can't get a new screen that's really repurposed and parted out from another system. Again, works really good. Replaced the motherboard, which I already told you, because of those little connectors, man. Whew, those 4-pin connectors are, you better be really careful if you're going to take this apart about those connectors. I hear about them all the time. 256 gigabyte SD card. Got a larger battery on here. You see the grip that I have in here, which works really good. I actually, not just a grip, but the plug is in there now because I charged it just before, but I have a little rubber plugs in here to keep the just dust out of the ports. I think, where is the, I think it's behind here, but there's the cartridge port actually has a yeah, I think it's right under here. The cartridge port has a plug in there too, just a rubber port. You could get them on Amazon just to keep the dust out. This is the audio port. You can see there's a plug in there, etc. so forth. But I left the original port in. I was thinking about putting the USB-C port in here, and I don't know, maybe I will one day, but right now it's just a regular one. So I got an adapter to go from the 3DS charging point to a USB-C, so I can charge it anywhere, and I have a case for it where I just leave that that adapter in there. What else did I do here? Again, replace the outside case. I don't want to take this off, but basically I just put a, well, maybe I'll take the top part off. There you go. See, it's just a case to protect it. But you can see this case, it actually looks just like the case that was in there. And I actually took it camping, and it got a little bit of damp in here, and the original case just peeled off. And there was actually metal under here, which was, I was very surprised. I thought it was all plastic, but metal with a layer. It's almost like a vinyl wrap, if you will, and it just started peeling up. It just got a little damp. Didn't harm the 3DS at all, but harmed the actual covering on there. And I saw both the top and the bottom, and it was just, I just got a new case and put it in here. But boy, oh boy, if you're going to do this, one of the hardest things that you have to do for this, other than, like I said, those ribbon cables, those 4 ribbon cables, was the hinge right here. That hinge, I think it's nope, I think it's over in this corner. This is where the ribbon cable comes out and spins in. That's actually not that tough. I thought it was going to be tough, but I would guess I was used to it because the DSi. This hinge right here was a pain to get out. You have to pop it out, and that's what actually ratchets and gives you that click and the friction to move it back and forth. And you can see it's still not 100%. I think it's the case, because it's always been this way since day one. It's just that little bit of looseness, but it does click. You can hear it. It actually does ratchet, but getting that little ratchet, little barrel out of here, whew, I guess I was doing it wrong, but it was tough. I actually got it out, and you could probably see a little scratch there trying to get it out. Once I did that, honestly, it's not really hard to work on at all. It really isn't. Once you get the gist of how to do that, that curly ribbon cable, and they take the ribbon cable and they curl it up, and kind of like a spiral, so you can close and you can open. See if I could put a picture of it. You can close and open the screen without actually pinching that ribbon cable for the screen, the screen and the speakers. So one other thing is, when you do get a case, and like I said, I recased this, you have to make sure you transfer over the lenses that are in here. They're like little plastic lenses that have to go back in there. I'm sure it would work without the lenses, but boy, you probably get a bunch of dust in here if you don't transfer them over. So don't forget it, because you're going to be doing it twice. What did I do? I put a bunch of games on here. Let me close this. That was just wanted to put a demo on the screen, but you can see just a bunch of games I put on here. I have a ton of games, and I would say, like the Switch or the Switch 2 or even the PS4 and PS5, not a big fan of jailbreaking and pirating software, because you can still buy them and they're still being produced, and I'm a real big fan of having the companies make their money, for making good product, because if everybody just pirates games, they're just not going to be making good products anymore. That's just the way capitalism works. I'm a big fan of that, a big advocate of that. However, they're not selling, as far as I know, 3DS games anymore. The eShop or the Nintendo shop for the 3DS is closed down. you really can't go play online games anymore unless you hack into it and go to the third-party systems out there. So they're not losing money. This is not money that, and really it's just for testing purposes anyway and educational purposes. But yeah, they're not losing money from me fooling around with their system. And honestly, this is more of a tribute than how they designed the system, how Nintendo put it together. But you can see there are a whole bunch of different games that I have in here, which are really good. And then what I did here is this system menu. So in the homebrew menu, just the standard stuff that Universal up there. This is not a how-to video. I'm just kind of showing you what I have in here and what I use the most. The H shop and the Ghost eShop is really, really good for loading up software and patching software. I should probably do a video on just how to use the eShop. Amoeba, which is Amoeba. Anemone is just good for changing themes and downloading really good and complex themes on the system. Of course, Homebrew Launcher, etc., so forth. So it's just really good. And then Twilight menu is one of the best for launching Game Boy and DS games. Emulators in here. So obviously the 3DS emulators, 3DS, SNES, NES, SNES, Temper PCs, PC Engine, which is TurboGrafx, and Pico Drive is Genesis. Really don't play a lot on here. I really just have it in here just for archive purposes. Mostly play it here on the 505. The screen is just perfect. It's OLED. This is not OLED. And then, wow, I'm surprised. Red Viper, which is the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy with the 3D screen, it just looks fantastic. It really looks 3D. I mean, for novelty's sake, am I going to play this a lot? No, but like, for example, the tennis game, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. I was surprised on how well that actually looks. Too bad the Virtual Boy didn't take off. So remakes is just all of the 3D games, or games that they remade and added a 3D layer. My big one is Outrun. I just love playing Outrun. I liked Outrun and loved Outrun when it was in the arcade. And then, the actual Sonic games are really, really good also. They're just a lot of fun. And then Sonic Generations is really good, and then Sonic 2. It's just they're just great with all 3D. And of course, I always go back to the original Alter Beast. Not that great of a game, but it has a lot of nostalgia for me. And then all the virtual consoles, which is just games that are pulled over, which is really Game Boy Color games. I liked the Game & Watch games. Again, they're mostly they throw back to basically the Mattel and the LCD, old school LCD games. And then Pokemon games, Mario games, and then I have DS games in here because you can take the actual DS games and load them right into the home screen, and that's what I did here. So, for example, Starfy, Pokemon games. Not a big Pokemon guy myself. I appreciate it, but not a big player of the Pokemon games. But they're in here, and then obviously the Zelda games. Kind of a bigger fan of the Zelda games myself, honestly. I played this on the Switch, so I'm going to try it on here. I haven't even opened this yet, but it's a great platform. It really is. It's just a wonderful platform. It just works really, really well. I understand now why they're so popular and why they're getting expensive, because it's just perfect. I mean, it's not the fastest machine. It's not the best screens. They're LCD screens. They're not OLED screens. They're not the best resolution. But I'm telling you, the battery life is really good. You put a grip on here for me. You could hold it and play it for a long period of time. The library is fantastic, and the form factor with the upper and lower screen, and honestly, the 3D. I just really love the 3D. It really works really, really well. There's a lot of good games that you could just play that are really, really, really well made. So that was the pros. The jailbreak was simple, and the jailbreak and homebrew apps are mature. Most of them, or most of the popular ones, are done very, very well. Like I said, the library is very good. The dual screens form factor is really good. The emulators are done very well. But what are the cons? The cons, the price for a one in good condition is hundreds of dollars, $200, $300, $400, depending on the condition. Or if you do it like me, you get a couple that are in bad condition and you just kind of Frankenstein them together. That could be a good thing to do. Again, just watch out for those little small ribbon cables on the motherboard, and this barrel here for the hinge is just, that's rough getting out. It's got limited emulators other than the ones I just showed you, which is the NES, Super NES, Genesis, but you're not going to be getting any other emulators out there. You're not going to get, I haven't really seen a good PlayStation 1, for example, emulator on here. I mean, that's not really the purpose of what I'm doing with these, with this system. It's really to play its native and games, DS and dual screen games on here. GPU and the CPU are slower, but you get good battery life. The operating system is kind of limited. It's good, but it is limited. And the screen isn't the biggest screen. Like I said, if you compare it to the RG 505, you can see the difference in the screen, for example. So, it's just a much better system. But the dual screen and the 3D is really what sells it. It really does. And the controls are very good. This is the new one, so you can see this is the C stick and the pad, the 3D pad, and they work well. They really work well. So I hope to do another video of these systems that are a bit more in depth. This is just what I've done with the system, how I refurbished it, got it back up and running, and get it to work in an ideal state. Just to give you an update on what I'm doing with these systems. And I actually have about 4 of these DS lights now. I actually want to get a DSi and start working on that and see how that works, a DSi-XL. Not big of the XL form factor. If I was going to get a larger one, I'd get a 3DS or like a 2DS XL, but we'll see. We'll see if I have a good deal on it. This is the one that I built from parts, and it works very well. And really don't play this one, which is the PSP, as much anymore. Again, got the case to protect it. That way I can maintain and not scratch up the original one underneath it. Works well. Mostly I'm playing. Let's see if I can get to it really fast here. Yeah, I'm mostly playing, the PSP games on here. So. And they work in the perfect. This is the perfect, as far as I'm concerned, a PSP emulator. It just works really well. The 505, the RG 505. I want to see if I can get the latest version of it. I think it's the 407. I really don't need a huge screen, but I need something with a video out, so I could sit there, plug this into a TV, and be able to play it sitting down. And usually the same system. I really don't want to carry around 8 systems. Basically, I want to carry one. Right now, really, these are the 2 that I really play with, or if I go to somewhere. Right, these are more just retro ones that I put. These 3 right here, among others, that I have in the system. But if I go somewhere, I'm going to bring this, or I'm going to bring this, or I'm going to bring both. I'm going to bring both, for example. Especially if I'm going to be waiting, or if I'm going to be, relaxing or something like that, and then putting in headphones, etc., so forth, and it works really well. All right, so it's just a quick overview of my opinion on the 3DS. I really understand now why they're so popular, and why they're so popular, and why they work really well. I get their appeal. Should they be $300-$400? No, but $200, $100-$200 for one example that's in good condition. Yeah, I see the appeal after playing with this, for a few weeks now. I get it. I get it. Anything that's single screen and below a PS2 or below, I'm a big fan of these the new portable systems. Get a grip on it though. I think it's just me getting older. Just it protects it, but on the bottom, at least on the bottom, but it makes it easier to hold. I just put a little stand on the back so you could put it somewhere. This one's got, just so you know, this one's got a stand on the back. This is just an Amazon case that I bought years ago, and you can put it up like that, or for better balance. So, all right, thank you very much. You'll get more videos in the next few weeks. Sorry for the delay. Life gets in the way. But thank you very much.